First of all, I really want to start with a big thank you to everyone who liked, who subscribed, who watched any second of the last video. Thanks for that, and I really hope you enjoy this first episode. A topic that kept me busy during the summer was the heat wave. It was all over the media, and I put a lot of thinking into how the landscapes are affected by it. I figured out that I wanted to make an illustration about the retreat of the glaciers. So what is left in a landscape after the ice retreats? Normally when I do an illustration, I sit down at my desk and I try to figure out what's important. In this case, I had the chance to visit an expert in the field because my friend Stefan is doing his PhD in the Kaunertal Valley in Austria, and I packed my things, I went on a train, and things weren't going quite smoothly. Guess who missed the train? Yeah, no, I didn't really miss it. I was on the station and I was just in the wrong place, apparently. After this little episode and a little bit of waiting, I was picked up by my friends and we drove up into the Kaunertal Valley, where my friend Stefan Haselberger is investigating geomorphic and ecologic relationships in the proglacial zone. He was planning to do some fieldwork with his students. I had to stay home for another day because I had to finish some work. But this turned out to be quite lucky for me because it was pouring rain. And it didn't stop for hours. While this was quite cozy for me, the situation on the mountain looked a little bit different. The next day I was able to join, so we drove up into the valley. A part of the team took a different route to explore another area, but Stefan and I went towards the glacier and he was explaining me why this area is interesting to him.
The Kaunertal Valley hosts the second biggest glacier in Austria, the Gepardschwerner, as you can see over there. And it's also the fastest retreating glacier in Austria. Mm-hmm. So it lost 127 meters in length in 1 year, in the year 2017. That was the max in retreat. And this year is probably overtaking this value because we had quite hot temperatures during early spring and less snow during winter.
So Stefan is starting the drone right now to make some recordings of the valley. The reason why we're here together filming also from his side is because he is collecting also some material for a documentary that is about erosion processes in this valley.
I'm not interested in the glacier, I'm more interested in the area in front of the glacier. We call it the glacial foreland. And
so that's right where we're sitting now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We are more or less in the center of the glacial foreland. And the glacial foreland is from the current glacial extent, mm-hmm. from the glacial snout, mm-hmm. where the Fagge River is coming from, and all the way down to the 1850 moraine. The 1850 moraine marks the spot where the biggest extent of the Gepardschwerner during the Little Ice Age. And the glacial foreland is pretty interesting because it hosts a variety of opportunities for research. First of all, we have initial conditions for an ecosystem to develop. You need to think about as soon as the glacier is gone, there's more or less bare soil or bare sediments and bare rocks, mm-hmm. and almost no vegetation or life present. Mm-hmm. And from this point onwards, a new ecosystem develops. So we can more or less observe this ecosystem development over time. The second point is, as soon as the glacier retreats, it leaves loads of loose sediments on the valley sides, the lateral moraines we call them. And this area is pretty active in terms of geomorphic processes. So we have loads of rock falls, debris flows, erosion, gully erosion, all this sort of geomorphic processes.
After this conversation about why the Kaunertal is interesting for scientists and what processes are going on there, we started to head back a different way. But we stopped a couple of times on the way because Stefan started to realize that there were some changes occurring the day before. And to be honest, I don't know the Kaunertal very well, but it was obvious to me as well. The water was literally everywhere. And this also changed my ideas. I didn't want any longer to illustrate a melting glacier. I wanted to look into the processes that the rain induced. And this experience shows that you can sit at your desk and prepare as much as you want, but as soon as you spend time in nature, things can just turn out to be quite different. While we were in the Kaunertal, an extreme rainfall event occurred, and it changed the whole appearance of the valley because it induced a lot of geomorphological processes. And it also changed my plans. I wanted to illustrate, of course, about the traces of this event. It was very exciting for me actually to have the chance to see it firsthand and to be in the field so quickly, because you could just see all the fresh processes. And of course, if this is exciting for you too, then don't forget to like and subscribe the channel, the video, whatever. And I'll talk about this a little bit more in the next episode.